Hey, 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 December Daily peeps. We are back for another video. I'm getting there. It's not as fast as I would hope it was going. After trying to make sure that I would run out of nothing while I do this project, I ended up running out of foil. Who would have thunk? So I got that, but that set my day back a little bit. But we're gonna get going. We're gonna do 8 and 9, and then probably 10 will be its own video because that's gingerbread day. That did not turn out very great, but that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's gonna go behind these photos anyways. So this is still before I was sick. Like gingerbread day, actually this day, because this day is gingerbread day also. This is the day before I got sick. Kind of the day that I felt I was getting sick and just didn't powered through it. So, and then the next couple of days, you're going to see things where I just powered through things to make things happen. And then all hell broke loose. So yeah, so we're still doing lots of, little things. So this day we just made gingerbread puppy chow. My kids love puppy chow. Even now, like I made a little bit of it for the football game. So yeah, it's just a good, and I mean, it's not great for you obviously, but it has peanut butter in it, so a little bit of protein. It's probably not the worst snack you could have, to tell you the honest truth. But yeah, we made puppy chow this night, even though the Christmas puppy chow is probably even worse because it has like M&Ms and Reese's and chocolate chips and whatever else I have around the house to throw in there that's Christmassy. But yeah, and then we sat down to watch the new Netflix movie That Christmas. My oldest just told me he'd give that movie like a 5 out of 10. He said it really wasn't even about, it's about Christmas, but it's really about like kids in Christmas and how they feel at Christmas and, like being good and bad and all that kind of stuff and like making better decisions throughout the year. So yeah, he didn't feel like it was like super about Christmas, but it got us like, I could swear that the same illustrators that did this movie did Arthur Christmas because the cartoonage was like so alike. But when we looked it up, they did not. So, but okay. Oh, that's the second story though. The first story is this one, which I just moved out the way, which is all of these. I used the frames and I foiled them on my foil quill. Came out pretty decent. A couple of spots, not too bad. Again, I wish it was stuff like this that we could just order so that I didn't, like, anything that has foil on it, I wish we could just order it separately from the whole kit. So I didn't have to do this stuff, but it is what it is. I got it done. These 3 pictures, and this story is about me and my son chasing, which I thought it was just sweet this year. Like, he's 17, he's a senior, and he still loves Christmas so much. He's way into more Christmas stuff than my youngest is. And we love eggnog. And so we chase everything eggnog, which is obviously a theme because we've had eggnog shakes, and I made eggnog cinnamon rolls, and we drink tons of eggnog type thing. I like put eggnog in my coffee and for coffee creamer and stuff during the holidays, all that kind of stuff. But the place that he was working at, unfortunately, they just don't have the hours for him anymore. Advertised that they had an eggnog donut, but when we got there, it was more like eggnog flavored donuts, like the seasonings, like nutmeg and all that kind of stuff in a donut. Honestly, they were still real good, and it pretty much tasted like eggnog custard, so we were pretty happy about them. But I'm gonna do a little story about how we kind of chased all things eggnog through the season. So yeah, just a cute little story, and it used these frames. This one is inspired probably from a little bit of a page. I don't know what one she did. And then this one, pretty much I was just like, okay, this is a little story. Nothing like needs to be like done. But I knew that I wanted to keep it on a full page. I didn't want to do a 4x4 page protector because obviously the back would have to be a 4x4 page protector. So the person that does this best is Miss Scrap and Plan. Sabrina over there is amazing at like just like slapping down pictures on a piece of white paper and making it look fabulous. So I went over to her spot and I was just like, yes, that's pretty much what I want to do right there. So we're going to put that together and make this a very easy page because we need to get this done, guys. So let's get scrapping. All right, let's get started. I mean, as much as I feel like I'm behind, I'm glad that I'm, getting some things done and, making a little dent on this. So I have decided that I will go to story 15 and post those stories out here. And then most likely I will just finish this album and keep the videos until the end of the year when December daily videos obviously do better again in like November, and post them there. I know that a lot of you want to see these videos, but unfortunately I really would like to move on to other things. And to do that, it's just how the world works. I don't know. I think I will still post the previews over on Instagram though, so that you guys can see the album completed, but you just won't have the videos for a few months. All right, so yes, I cut this all out on Silhouette. This is actually going to come together pretty quickly. I was kind of surprised. The hardest part about it, not the hardest, I should say the longest part about it, was letting my Silhouette and foil quill work to get that lovely foil up there. But I love how this one came together. So all I'm doing here is I cut down all of the photos, obviously, as you've seen, and now I am posting. In Photoshop, I purposely made my clipping mask larger than the frame, or larger than the inner part of the frame, so that I knew that I would have a little bit of space for these photos to attach to. This one, you could have just glued the pictures down to the paper and then put the frame down. You can do that too, but I guess my brain just thought of it this way. The background paper is from the Paisley Press mini kit. I ended up going with this one. No, I think I matched the next story to this paper. I just liked this. I think I just liked this pattern paper. I thought it was, busy enough, but not too busy, pretty much. I don't know. It was just one of my favorites from the pack. I'm trying not to think too hard about this, guys. I really am. I'm trying to just make a decision and be done with it and not overthink things, because that's where I do get bogged down. And after this, I want to do my week in a life project. I'm 2 years behind on that. And again, that's a long project. And though that one is more repetitive, and not so, a project every, a different project every page, that is also a project that I will bog down in or not even get started in like I have before. So, I really am just trying to get the project done, not speed through it and not enjoy it, but also not trying to let myself get hung up on little decisions like background paper. All right, this one is where my number is going to go. I ended up pulling up a couple of them, but they were too big. So that kind of narrowed my decision down with the amount of space that I gave myself pretty much. And I have no idea where these numbers came from. I believe that they're just numbers from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, I believe. So unfortunately I can't give them to you, but I love the font of them. You're going to see I'm going to pull out a couple of them. See, all those ones that were from my box, I was like, yep, those are way too big. We got to go to the sticker sheets. And I didn't want a little one, but this 8 that you're going to see me right there, those ones, like I said, I think those are from Hobby Lobby or Joann's or something that I found. Worked perfectly. Loved how that looked. All right, look at that album. It's coming together. Not very many, but it's coming together. All right, we're going to put this on the back of the handmade cards story, and you're going to see I think I talked about this in my other video. I had a heck of a time with those cards. Did I do that video? No, I'm like, wait, did I edit that? I don't think I did. We'll see. Okay. Anyways, back to this. So we're going to put this right together. Again, I had done all of this work in Photoshop. So coming to my desk, this came together very quickly. I had this up on my computer. So I was literally just putting them down on paper now at this point. Just making sure everything fit. There was a couple of things that I moved around a little bit, mainly because of holes. But other than that, I pretty much just kept everything right in its place. I also decided not to give this a title. I didn't know where to put it exactly, and on top of it, I just didn't know what type of title I wanted. I was thinking like Chasing the Nog. But again, like I just didn't know where to put it, and I was like, you know what? I think the journaling says enough about what this page is about, and I don't believe that every page needs a title. So I left it. I did. I just left it. If I don't like it by the end, I can always come back and add a title to this. So will I? Probably not, because there's things in my other December dailies that I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go back and do that. Have I? No. Once it goes on the shelf, it's pretty much done. All right, just taping this all down. This insert of my Tombow Mono adhesive is acting up incredibly. I don't know. I just think I got a bad insert, pretty much, or refill. Normally my Tombow Mono adhesive is amazing, but this one is just not loving it. So, anyways, I was fighting with that a little bit and fighting with adhesive on my glass board. All right, there we go. We are going to put that down always with our double-sided tape because I am cheap and I'm not going to use my Tombow Mono adhesive on large surfaces like this. So we're going to put that down with that double-sided tape, and I feel like this gives a much better adhesive, I guess, or stronger adhesive, I should say. So I just feel more confident with this, especially with large pages. And that type of thing. I don't know. I always watch other people's videos and they're using so much tape adhesive. I'm like, ugh, that was like $4 in adhesive right there. I know, I'm so cheap. I swear. You know, what can you do? All right, and actually I think that's fit pretty darn well on that. So there we go. Story number 8. Super excited. The next story, number 9, I think we've talked about all of these already in the intro though. Number 9 also comes together it probably should have been easier than what it was. But again, like I talked to you about, I just wanted this to be a simple page, but also not use a 3x4 page protector, because I knew I didn't want that for the next story. The next story is Gingerbread Day, and I'll have other plans for that. So this was the first time. I think I've come to the conclusion, that Miss Scrap and Plan, or Sabrina, whatever you want to call her, uses resizes her cards and her pictures smaller than 3x4. Sabrina, if you do watch this, which I doubt you watch my videos, but tell me, do you resize I think you resize your cards down, or you cut your cards down if you're using physical cards, because when I was like matching up the things, my cards were taking up a lot more space than her cards. Like you could see, like I'm gonna make this bottom border, and on her page that she did this type of thing on, you could definitely see a lot more of her border than mine. Actually, like I don't even think that her pictures hit the border, and mine are taking up the whole entire spot, which they should be. It's a 3x4, and 3x4 pockets take up the whole page, so like they should be. So clearly she has to resize hers. Anyways, I was using original cards, and I keep on putting this 'Tis the Season one down. I really want It's a Tradition one down. So you'll see me switch it, but because honestly we do this I think I've done this like every year since my little one, or my big one, was little. It's a great little, I just throw the puppy chow, or the reindeer chow, I guess I should say it is, out on the counter a lot when they get home from school and stuff, and they can snack on it. It's much better than them coming and getting in my cookies. Seeing that red card actually wasn't too bad, but I was like, why? Like, I don't want that much red for some reason with this one. So I changed it over to the Jolly Mary Happy. Again, most of these cards are from the mini Paisley Press kit or kits from years ago. Okay. I have so many cards, as you can see. I have a stack of 3x4 cards that I'm actively trying to use. I'm getting there. Like, every year I use a little bit more and a little bit more. Of course, I get a little bit more, but I don't try to get more and more. I try to get rid of more than I use. I have to trim down a little bit of these because I think that they were a smidgen bigger than the 3x4 cards. But yeah, so I put these down. I pretty much make hinges. I do use copy paper, which I do believe Sabrina uses copy paper also. I've always used copy paper for my hinges. I'm just not a fan of washi tape hinges. First of all, I just like get really confused by them. I don't know why. I get really confused on how they go. I think like the other day I had to like stop the video like twice and watch how whatever, Jenny does her washi hinges, and I still was like, I need you to slow that down. I don't know why my brain's not getting that. But yeah, so I just, that's what I use. I feel like it just is a little bit more stable, but also lets the pages flip easily. All right, so I put my 2 main cards down. We will write on that, and I will also just do my journaling off screen, as I need to go and print it out on the Mako transparency paper. And I wasn't going back to my computer again. I was actually trying to hurry up because I was trying to go live to make a card after this. And so I was like, I need to get this done. I had told people I would go live, and I just was trying to get this done. There we go. There is how I made my copy paper hinge. I pretty much put it on the back side of both of the cards so you can't see it. Now, I did not go ahead and put anything on the flip side of these. I told myself I am gonna go back and do that when I'm done with this project, and just to put random 3x4 cards there that I didn't use. But I don't want to pick ones that I possibly could use later in the project in a better place. So whatever is left over at the end of this project are ones that I'm going to go back and use on all of these flip ups. I think I already have another flip up that needs one too. But that's a good place to use your 3x4s, is on the back of your flip ups, so that they're not blank pages or blank pictures type thing. All right, just getting the second flip up done. Trimming them down. Love this trimmer, guys. I love my Tim Holtz Galatine trimmer. Love it, love it, love it. I use it for card making and for scrapbooking because it goes out to 6 inches instead of my other one, I think, that only went out to 4. So, loving this one. Let's see, what's the next thing? Oh, I believe the next thing I do is get out my white Posca pen. If you know, Allie uses these pens a ton. I've recently restarted using this Posca pen. Usually I am a white Sigma, what is that? No, not Sigma. Jelly Roll. There we go. A white Jelly Roll pen girl. But I thought that this one would write a little bit better on this type of paper. And it was pretty great. I did have to go over it twice. I let it dry and went over it twice just because it was getting a little translucent. And I wanted it to be white. So as you see, I go to pump it and I'm like, oh shoot, tons come out. So I just dipped it back in that and then rewrote over my lettering. I think because it's talking about traditions, I think the first box is like scents And I guess, and I have been making reindeer chow since like 09ish. That's when my oldest would be about 2. And that's where I started, when I started a ton of my traditions with my oldest, was when he was about 2, 3 years old. His birthday is right before Christmas. So he was always like, you know, that first Christmas was just his baby year. So he didn't really do much. And then that first Christmas, which he would have been 1, you know, obviously they're too young to like do all of the tradition stuff. So really it was like that third Christmas. So maybe it wasn't until 2010. Either way, it's no big deal. Second box, it just said, I think, what is the tradition? And I wrote reindeer chow. I can't remember what the other one is. And then some details. And like I said, I will print that out on Macco sticker paper and put that in there. Just some simple journaling, probably about the movie that we watched. Gonna put some photo strips just to embellish this. I felt like it needed just a smidgen more embellishment. So I went through all of my phrase stickers. Of course, I think we all have a ton of them. That one just says tradition, and I think the other one says loving this. And that's because that picture is actually, if you can zoom in, my little guy had powdered sugar everywhere. Whenever I'm baking or doing stuff for them, I always let him come in and do the first batch. And then I pretty much redo another batch for anybody else that wants to eat, because he is constantly eating the ingredients. All right, so there it is going into the album. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Put an 8 or a 9 in the comments below if you've made it this far, and I appreciate you for watching. I will see you in the next one.